Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 0, and we just got away with it. We got away with one, everybody. I cannot believe we are allowing this to continue, but let's get into it. Welcome, everybody. I slept through that first half, and so did the entire Arsenal squad. So, yeah. Guys, I'm not happy again. I'm not happy again. And, you know, everybody in the chat, Jaminho already in the chat. Not a brilliant performance, but 3 points is 3 points. Sure. I want more than this, guys. I want more than this. And we knew what time it was as soon as we saw the lineup. I started sending Connor and Dow rapid voice messages, just being like, I'm getting kicked off YouTube tonight. Like, it's over. Like, I'm just going to start cussing. And you know what? No, I'm going to calm down. We're going to do a tight 45-minute show so I can go work out at the gym, get this out in a healthy manner, and look forward to next weekend. Who I don't even know. Who do we even play next weekend? Is it even worth?
Isn't it Manchester United at home?
Fulham next.
Fulham. Oh, my bad.
Fulham after we send Balogun down there because now they're sniffing around for Balogun too, and I think Balogun would have scored in this game.
Yeah,
hot.
Eddie sure didn't.
Eddie is shit. He scored.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get monetized. All right.
Right.
Eddie is shit. He is literally, he had the one good thing that I can say about Eddie Nketiah is that he drew the pen that Odegaard scored. He had a heads up play in the box that he drew the pen. Great play. Other than that, he was absolute shit.
Anonymous.
That dink in 5 yards off the keeper in the first half. I wanted
to that to Havertz.
He
just squared that to Havertz, bro.
Yeah, square it to Havertz or drive it low. It's not hard. I don't get it. Like, it seems like we take things that straightforward wins. What, in my opinion, should be a straightforward match, a straightforward win. I predicted 3-0. We freaking win by a 1-goal differential again. And, you know, it just seems like we're playing checkers when we have the ability to play chess. Dow, let's go to you first, man. What did you think of that game? I'm just so disappointed again.
I know, me too. I'm pretty upset, but we're going to support our boy Jaminho. Well, cool. Okay. Support our boy Jaminho. He's right. 3 points is 3 points. There's some games we're going to play ugly, and that was really pretty freaking ugly. And as soon as I saw Tomiyasu in there, I knew we were going to make a mistake. I knew he was going to make a mistake, like he always freaking does. You know, I don't know what we see in this guy, why we're even giving him a chance, and why Arteta just doesn't play a regular 3-4-3. Call it what it is. Stop playing these mind games that aren't mind games because people know what the best 11 is anyway. If this is the tone, TJ, Connor, and Steve-O, I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it. And I'm like you, TJ, I started dozing off like the middle of the first half because there was nothing going on. Just a bunch of Crystal Palace fouls and us mishandling the ball. So I'm glad we got the 3 points, but I am not impressed at all with the performance.
Connor, what do you think? I'm shuffling this around. Big up Connor, by the way. We're putting him in the host seat now because look at this layout, people. Look at this layout. We are now
beautiful.
A professional outfit. Okay.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable work, Connor. Yeah, no, he gets with Will Stewart and now he just starts doing all this stuff. And big up Connor. Thank you for putting in all the work, brother. This looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Appreciate it. Yeah, well, that's probably the only happy thing we can talk about today. I mean, yeah, we got 3 points, but that game was a snooze fest, man. It was so bad. That first half, I mean, apart from holding, we held the ball. I'll give it that. We didn't let the ball fall from us quite a lot in the first half, but we weren't doing anything with it. And when we were going forward, then we were coming back. We were going forward, then we were coming back. Like, there was no shot on goal. I mean, I remember Martinelli, a couple minutes into the game, or maybe 15 minutes, had a good chance, But then he was aiming for a good chance, but took about 50 minutes to just shoot the ball. It felt like we were allergic to shooting today. And Nketiah, again, I mean, he was a bit unlucky with the first chance where he hit the side of the bar. But why are you trying to chip the goalkeeper at 5 yards out? I said it to you backstage, TJ. I'd have subbed on Raya for that. That's a disgrace. You're literally in front of the goalkeeper. You've been playing at this club for long enough. And I feel like, again, I'm going at Nketiah every week. But you've got to call out the mistakes like I will in a minute for other players. You can't be chipping a goalie 5 yards out. Like, you're not. I know you're wearing the number 14, but you're not Thierry Henry. I mean, come on now. Let's get it right. And it's Sam Johnston, for God's sake. I think you could have easily just slipped it past him and no disrespect to him. So it was really poor. And the fact that we got the penalty to get us the 3 points just says everything about the situation, in my opinion. The whole game, it just says it all. The fact that we have to get a penalty to get the 3 points. Tomiyasu, I don't think the first yellow should have been a yellow. I think Havertz took longer to take that throw in, but hey, the referees are the referees. The second yellow, I think, would have been a yellow anyway if he didn't have a yellow already. It was just a bit reckless. But
I thought he was soft, man. I thought that was so soft.
Yeah, I mean,
yellow seems soft to me, but that's just me.
It's the refs for you. Edouard calling for that handball. I mean, I'm blind. I need to wear glasses, but even though you never see them, but that was never a handball from Ben White. Hit his leg. The Eze one, he dived. That wasn't a penalty. So, yeah, I mean, Crystal Palace had their chances. To be fair to the Arsenal squad, they did defend well at the end of the game. I'll give credit to them for that because we were 10 men down, and there were points where we were actually holding the ball pretty well at 10 men. But I don't know what it is, man, because I was happy with the way we were controlling the ball. Even with this formation, we were actually doing pretty well with it, but we're not creating anything with it. And in this formation, we've actually got more players going forward than we would in a normal 4-2-3-1. So I don't get why we're not attacking as much as we normally are. And it was just really boring. And let's be real, guys, these first two games are worrying going into this season because Nottingham Forest, first half was really good. I'll give them that. But the second half was poor. And practically this whole game was poor. I know we held the ball well. And that's probably the credit I'll give the team for today. But no creativity today. Eddie Nketiah, no creativity. Havertz, I know I've said on previous streams that I want to give the guy a chance, but he's running thin with me. No pressing. But barely passing. Just standing still. There's been so many situations where we needed to get forward and he was just sort of standing still. He wasn't pressing. He wasn't doing any of that. This game was screaming for someone like Trossard. Even ML Smith-Rowe, I think, would have put in a shift today. We've got to give... If Arteta's really big on giving players chances, like he says in interviews, why aren't we giving these players chances? Everyone's crying out that this bench is fantastic and all this. Then why isn't Arteta playing these guys on the bench? Giving them starts? I think it's just unreal. And I swear to God, if we walk into Fulham next weekend and Eddie Nketiah is starting, it's hilarious. I'd love to show you guys, but I can't. There was a leaked lineup that I sent out. I didn't realize it was. It was a fake leaked lineup. I didn't realize it was fake. The fake lineup looked better than the real lineup. That's nuts. It actually looked better.
For sure.
So, listen, I'm gonna keep it short. We got 3 points. I'm happy about we got the 3 points because I'd rather walk out with 3 than none or 1. But something's got to change in this attack because it's been very, well, especially in this game, it's been very lackluster. But to be fair, Crystal Palace did hold their own. They were very well drilled and it did take a while to break them down. But it was very boring for Arsenal. And I want to see more attacking threat. And I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I don't think he is watching, but if he ever does, Eddie, I'm sorry I'm going into you a lot, but Jesus Christ, you are crap. I'm sorry. You can score a tap in and say, oh, yeah, you're the best, but you're not good enough. And we've got a perfectly good attacker in Trossard on that bench. So it's what it is. But we move on to Fulham.
Yep. No. Steve-O!
What's up?
In the hot seat.
Steve-O is now in the hot seat. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Steve-O. We just hit 500 subscribers. Let's bring it in for him. Way to go, Steve-O. Welcome again. Welcome back. Give us your neutral perspective on this. I guess you could call that a game. Go.
God awful. This league is not the fucking best league in the world. And if it is, well, then everyone else is playing like shit, honestly. That is such a poor standard of football. I mean, the fact that you got the goal from a penalty and the fact that like what? 3/4 of the league don't have a striker. 3/4 of this damn league don't have a competent striker. Nottingham Forest somehow do. Crystal Palace don't.
You've got two great strikers. Can we have one of them? You've got two great strikers.
Can we have one?
Yeah. That's why I think we'll get second place. But regardless, I don't want fucking second. Whatever. That's irrelevant. But look, for me, it's like, yeah, you got the 3 points. Cool. But why would anyone be convinced by that? Why would any of the top teams be scared of you? Why? You guys make things so complicated and hard, like it needlessly. I just, and that goes with Arteta with these lineups again. They're just whack. He thinks he just tinkers. It's okay. So basically, what I said last week against Forest, it applies to this week. Same damn thing, except the first half in the Forest game, you were very good. Otherwise, I'm just repeating myself. Arteta tinkers far too much. This fucking Tinkerbell dude, honestly, is crazy.
Do you think that he's playing like this back three or party at right back because he doesn't know who to sit in the midfield and he has to play Havertz because we're playing him 300 bags a week? That's my thought. Is that we're gonna stick party at right back, but really we're gonna play three at the back and just absolutely bolster the midfield, just pack the midfield.
He is changing your entire system for one of the most woeful footballers in the world.
He is
gonna be honest.
He
is absolutely woeful.
Good point.
What did he do? What did he do? And if someone's gonna say ball retention, ball physics, ball spacing, ball maneuverability, making himself available. So it means he's shit. So you're just making up stuff now? Yeah. That's what that means, honestly. What a dreadful footballer on every level. And Arteta is building his system around him. Why? If you guys needed an insurance goal tonight, which you didn't because Palace are about as blunt as whatever spliff Oregon Gooner's smoking, right?
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean, say your hold up striker was Havertz. How is Havertz not getting subbed off? Arteta is genuinely obsessed with the guy, and if he plays him in every minute, and with Saka obviously 82 straight Premier League appearances, you guys are going to finish like 6th. If you think if he thinks Havertz is going to be the guy that lead him to a title. He does nothing. He does absolutely nothing. So, yeah. And then the Gabriel thing is weird. The Gabriel thing is very weird because if he's linked with Real Madrid and Saudi Arabia and all that, well, then why aren't you playing him? If you're playing him, then it adds less fuel to the fire. But now, those rumors, people might take him a bit more seriously because you're benching him.
They're benching him because of the system that he's playing. I mean, he's playing a back three. If he's playing a back three, it makes sense that because he's not our best center back, right? He's not our best center back. You got you got White playing on the right side of a back three, Tomiyasu on the left. Well, not next game. But you're probably going to have either Zinchenko or Kiwior over there. And that's a whole nother discussion we're going to get into this week. We don't have time for that discussion. But yeah, you saw, if anybody, you guys were watching Tony's show, you saw my reaction when we were going to throw on Zinchenko in there. I thought we were headed right for a draw. And he did get skinned on the right side in the last play, by the way. Go watch it. He doesn't look any better. He doesn't look any better, any more solid. And okay, TJ, you might have it out for Zinchenko because he was only on for 3 minutes. Don't care. He still doesn't look confident out there. He doesn't. So until he shows me something, he's on my shit list. It just is what it is. And I'm sorry for the language, everybody. I'm trying to tone it down. But good Lord, what was that? We are looking, everybody is looking for us to win the entire Premier League. They're looking for us to go far in the Champions League. And then we perform like that for the first 2 matches. And they showed resiliency. Oh, well, we showed that down to 10 men, we could get this out and we could sneak it out. No, I would expect that.
Yeah.
The way that Palace were playing, they weren't going to score.
They don't have a striker. They don't have a striker like 3/4 of the damn league.
No, they didn't look like scoring. Like maybe they looked like scoring what? Maybe twice the entire game. Like,
and even that's generous. I think that's
it wasn't
generous.
anything. It wasn't surprising. Like when Tommy Asa went off, I got a little bit more worried, but I wasn't like really worried. You know, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm going in a little bit here, but just because I'm hearing all of this crap about, oh yeah, well Havertz might come good. He's shit. He is shit. Like and like Jez keeps saying, yeah, I do believe there's a baller in there. Jez, I lose more and more. I lose confidence in him every time I see him play. He is dead. I am off the Havertz train. I am officially off. Connor, are you off the Havertz train? You're back in the spotlight.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what? Like, I know I said I give him 10 games, but it's just like he's been so poor when he's played so far. Like, if you're thinking you're coming into a club and you're getting starts, you want to be making an impression on everyone, but it's not looking good. I mean, today he was so lackluster. It was beyond literally. I can't actually think of something that he done correct in the game. Really, maybe one pass towards the end of the game where he created something, but like his role as a footballer, I like to believe, as a creative midfielder, an attacking midfielder, and he ain't doing none of that. Not in this system, that's for sure. And I think we saw at the end of Chelsea last season, or the whole season even, he wasn't even doing that there. No. Like I always say, I like to give a player a shot, but he's wearing thin. I mean, like for example, when Trossard came in, I've always said, like, even if people didn't want him in, I always want to give him a shot. He came in and smashed it straight out of the park. Havertz ain't doing that, man, and he better step up, otherwise Arsenal fans are going to be on him and want him out. His Instagram comments going to be filled with different stuff. So we'll wait and see. He's got to step up. He's got to step up. You're on the highest wage at the club, which I think is ridiculous, by the way. You're on 300 grand a week. You're on Mesut Ozil levels. I remember actually Diesel Arsenal. Big up Diesel. He said this the other week. He actually said this is the next Mesut Ozil, and I think I'm starting to believe him a bit. High money.
Mesut Ozil did something. Yeah, we didn't win much, but he actually did something. He has not done anything. No,
and I know it's 3 games, but it's just like you're coming in for a high price tag. I guess you can't really control it, but you should know that you've got a lot riding on your back. As a person, you should be thinking, right, I should be going out and giving 110%. But I think he's now going to get in his head that I'm on this much money. I'm the highest paid owner at the club. I will get game time no matter what. And going back on your point earlier, TJ, we are playing this formation because of Kai Havertz. Fact. There is no way you're benching a £65 million player, 300 grand a week, and you're benching him every week. He is trying Arteta, and it could also to be doing with the Gabriel links, but I don't think it's that, because I think Gabriel will stay. As much as the links are saying he's practically going to go to Saudi Arabia, I don't think it's true. I do think he'll stay. I think it would be pretty stupid of Arsenal to get rid of Gabriel already. So what I'm going to go with is I do think Arteta is trying anything to facilitate Kai Havertz into this team, because you're not going to have him on the bench. So he's thinking, right, what do I do? Who do I take out? Right, let me take out the partnership that works the best. We'll take out Gabriel. And then if we have to take out Ben White, if we have to take out Thomas Partey, we have to take out Thomas Partey. It is what it is. But at least play players in their position, because Thomas Partey isn't comfortable defending like at right back. He's a midfield guy, because I saw him in the game. Just as it kicked off, we are going straight into that 3 at the back. That's how we're working. We are going straight into it. Declan Rice and Partey are forming in the midfield, and you've got Odegaard and Havertz in front of them, and then Nketiah on his own, and then you've got Martin and Saka coming through. It's just not working. We're working well holding the ball. Possession-wise, we're doing well. But you can have 15% possession in each game every season, and you can still win the league. It's fact. All you need to do is just score the goals. That's the whole point. And we're not doing that. And it's really worrying. And no disrespect to Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, but these guys are below 10th. Will be below 10th at the end of the season. We all know that. Probably even below 15th, maybe. We should be beating these teams easily. And we were doing that last season. by the end of the season. And yeah, you don't bring it up because we know we've got the league. But we should be smashing these guys, and we're not doing ourselves any favors right now because we're making ourselves look pretty weak. And Arteta's got to change that. But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie starts next week. Zinchenko.
Oh, he will. He will.
Yeah. Zinchenko is now obviously going to play because Tomiyasu is red carded. So we'll go with the same thing. And I think Arteta's too arrogant to change it. But I'd be all right maybe with going with the same formation. But we've just got to change the attack. It's as simple as that. We've got Smith Rowe on the bench. We've got Trossard on the bench. If we even really want to, we've got Reece Nelson on the bench. Eddie Nketiah is not good enough. I don't care what anyone tells me. Currently, he is not good enough to be playing or starting for Arsenal. It's a simple fact. He shouldn't be playing. And today, even more. Well done. You can score a tap-in against Nottingham Forest. You can have 16 goals in 18 appearances, in 18 starts. I want you scoring every game. You're a striker. You should be scoring
nearly every
game. Yeah, but you're not doing that. It's as simple as that, guys. He shouldn't be playing. And the fact that we have offers from this team that we played today for 30 million and we turned that down just shows, doesn't it? But hey,
crazy.
It's absolutely crazy. No, and look, I would be okay with this, by the way. I would be okay with packing the midfield if it did anything at all. I'd be okay with the back three. I don't care who is on the bench. I care about scoring goals, people. I know Dowd cares about scoring goals too. Like, look, we can all get excited about Partey playing right back, but he's not playing right back. No. He stays there. It's like for the starting lineup, and then he immediately goes into the midfield. So, like, I can see what Arteta is doing, but it's one of those things where it's not producing. So what's the point? It's time to go back, play it like Anthony just said, 4-2-3-1. And if we don't see this against Fulham, oh my God, I'm gonna be fuming.
We know that we know that we won't see that though.
Right. I know that's what
we know. Crazy. Do you know what's crazy? We are all of us. We are the common football fan, right?
Right.
Why can all of us agree and see this? But Arsenal Football Club, or i.e. Mikel Arteta and his team, can't. I just don't understand it.
Ego, arrogance.
But this is why I go back to the point of why we need suitable, not idiots. We need fans in press conferences. It needs to happen because they talk about because you do hear the opinion of the fans in the stadium. That's fair enough during the games, but you need people to question managers. You need your normal average fans, not press. We'll obviously have the pressing for the newspapers and all that and all the articles, but you need fans in these press conferences to really go at these managers and really question them. None of this bullshit about, we need the right questions to be asked, wrong questions and you're out. Because we all know the people that are fans and do go into these press conferences are high established on social media and know if they ask a particular question, they're going to be chucked out and they won't be allowed to come back in again. So this stuff needs to stop. Questions like this aren't being asked in press conferences. Mikel, why do you still start Eddie? Mikel, why are you playing Thomas Partey at right back when you know he's going to go straight into midfield? Mikel, why have you dropped Gabriel? None of these questions are being asked at all. And they need to start being asked. Not just in Arsenal, in any club. I bet Chelsea fans are crying to ask questions to that press in those press conferences. Yep. So it's something that needs to happen because there's so many questions right now and we're only 2 games into the season.
No, I agree. Let me address this from Gunner's Media. Gunner's Media says, and then I want to get Dal's thoughts here because he's been quiet for a minute. No, mate, the issue isn't that you can't play 3 at the back if one of our midfielders isn't playing in Havertz. It's being down a man from the start. That's why it's not working. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. I was saying that if it were working, if it were producing, I would be okay with it. But shoehorning all these midfielders in and not getting a result out of it is going to cost us in the end. We just haven't been hit with it yet. Yeah, we got 6 points out of 6 so far, but that isn't going to work against Man United, even though they are shit. They will be back, by the way. They playing this way against the Tottenhams, playing this way against United, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, even though they're shit too. It's not going to work. This is mid to lower table draws we're talking about here, and we're struggling and eking out 1-goal wins. It is pathetic and it is unacceptable. And to quote my friend Kyle Walsh-Gunner, it is not good enough.
Thanks.
Now,
it's not good enough. And the sad part about it is, TJ, is that we were under the cosh for the last 20 minutes of that game.
Yep.
We're lucky we escaped out of there with a 1-0 victory. I'm really worried about what I saw at the last 20 minutes, how they just entrapped us in our own half. That rarely happens to us. I know we were a man down, but still, that doesn't happen to the Arsenal. We're the ones that trap teams in their half of the field. That's been our modus operandi from, 1886. What I saw today was just it reminded me of Chelsea a bit, a bunch of big name players just thrown together as a group and trying to come out with a result. No plan B, no organization, and Gunnar ER had it nail on the head. When you start out there with Kai Havertz, it's basically you're a man down because he's going to stand around and pass laterally and backwards and run up and down a little bit and rarely get into a position to score. So he's right. It's basically you're going into the game with 9 men instead of the 10 outfield players. But again, at the ending of that game, just the way they pressured us in our own half is just unacceptable. And with any other team, I don't even care if it's Tottenham, United, or Chelsea, whatever kind of, or Wolves, or whatever kind of form they're in, they would have gotten a goal out of that today. That was way too much for us to handle. And then Arteta knows it was too much to handle, so he puts Gabriel in. It's like, well, I don't know why he's taking these extra steps, like you said, to set up a 4-man defense, but we all know it's going to turn into a 3-man. Just make it a 3-man defense. At some point, it's like he's just trying to trick people in looking at a lineup that's not really going to happen. How fast is Thomas Partey able to get back at right back? He was struggling a bit today as well, like Connor said. And I don't know how we all can see this and Arteta doesn't. It just boggles my mind. Like, even after today, you can see the look on his face. He looked disappointed. He knows that was a shit showing today. For sure. He could see it in his face. Every time he messed up, when Eddie messed up with his little flick that he could have squared to Havertz, who would have scored a goal from 3 yards out probably, maybe. It's just, at the end of the game, I was really depressed. The last 20 minutes just had me just kind of covering my eyes because I thought at any minute we could put one in ourselves, off a ricochet or something. But overall, it was shit. It was, I give the overall team probably a 6 out of 10 today.
It was absolute shit. Like, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with, like, anybody who's singing the Super Mick Arteta song after that, they shouldn't be allowed to get away with it. I'm sorry. They just shouldn't. Right. One last comment, and then Connor's going to get us into stats and ratings here. Look at this out. Yeah. Big up, Josh. Josh, look at this. Are you kidding me? The layout's incredible. I got the best media guy on YouTube.
For sure.
Connor.cmo, everybody. Connor.cmo, period, end of story. Hit him up. CMO.editing. Sorry, my bad, Connor.
Yeah.
Anyway, all I'm saying is, and this is the final thing, I'll let Connor get into it a little bit. Look, Havertz needs to be dropped. And if he isn't dropped, and we continue to see these performances, we need to start calling for people's heads. I said this last night, or I think, whose show did I say this on? It might have been on Jez's show. I think that Havertz, if he bombs and we bomb out of the league, like top 4, it could cost Arteta his job. He is that bad. And I'll leave it at that. Connor.
Yeah, we've got the stats up here. I thought it'd be quite cool to just sort of go through everything instead of just sort of reading it off a screen without actually seeing it. So you can see here, like, it says we lined up with a 4 at the back. I got this off FOTMob. It did change. If you could see, if you watch the game, from as soon as we kicked off that game, we went straight to a 3 at the back. And when we were attacking, because obviously we started with kickoff. But as soon as we obviously defend, it goes back to Thomas Partey going towards right back. Now, I think Partey played at right back maybe 3 times for Atletico. Someone can maybe get that right for me, but it was definitely less than 5. So he's not
barely played right back. Yeah. I do not remember watching Atletico Madrid over the years.
Right back.
Exactly. So he's not used to it. And it's, like I said, it's very clear that Arteta is trying to facilitate having he doesn't know what to do with all these midfielders because let's be real, we've got really good midfielders. I think our midfield is very good. The options we've got, people may disagree with me, but I like Odegaard. I really like obviously Declan Rice. I love Partey. Yeah, Havertz. He's not giving me a good impression so far. But Smith Rowe, I think, is still a really good talent, and I think we underuse him so much. It's actually criminal how much underuse this guy. I really think he's a good talent. Jorginho, as much as people don't like him, when he comes on, he does the job. It's as simple, and that's a midfielder I like. He comes on, he does the job. It's as simple as that.
No, he was solid.
Yeah, he's well experienced. Yeah, so we've got options, and let's get it right. Jorginho was playing for mostly at the end of the season, last season, and he still dropped him. So if you need to drop a certain midfielder, just do it. And this is the problem, and this is why Arteta, in my opinion, hasn't looked at this properly, and that's worrying for me because you're doing these signings. You have been looking into these guys for months. If you know that you can't facilitate Kai Havertz into this team without having to move things around, why did we get him? Because I don't want it, because we're not playing him at striker anymore, so that striker stuff's gone. Well, it's clear that he wants to play him in midfield, because if he wanted to play him at striker, Eddie wouldn't be there. It would be Havertz. So if your intention was to play him in midfield, why the hell did we get him? If we brought in Rice, why do we need him? We've already got Odegaard. If we need another attacking midfielder on the pitch, Smith Rowe is the perfect person to do that. We don't need another attacking midfielder on the pitch. It's as simple as that. And just remember, we could have used the £65 million on someone different. And you can go back to a couple of streams a couple of weeks ago where I was saying, I want to give this guy a chance. But after today, and it's a late one here in London, I can't be asked for it now. I really can't. Because I've seen 3 games so far. And like I said, in no disrespect, these are 2 teams in Nottingham Forest and Everton that we should be beating, really well. And you'd think Kai Havertz would turn up for these games, even if it was Man City when we played them in the Community Shield. You want to come in and you want to hit the ground running. He hasn't done that at all. And I think we did get lucky today, especially when we went 10 men down, because in no disrespect to Crystal Palace, I'm not saying no disrespect to everyone, they didn't have a good attack, as you can see here.
Fuck Palace.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace.
I can say it now because Vieira is
shite.
Yeah, no. The thing with Palace is when they want to be good, they want to get on it. Like Eze, for example, he did shine today. I think Eze made some good chances. Jordan Ayew, for some reason, always turns up against Arsenal. It's actually infuriating. This guy practically never turns up all season, but whenever it comes to Arsenal, he for some reason just turns up and automatically becomes really good.
Mitchell played incredible too.
Yeah, Mitchell was fantastic. I saw on Sky commentary we're apparently linked with Mark Gay. I didn't know that. I mean, I'd love him at Arsenal, especially if we were to sell Gabriel. He's left-footed, and I think he'd be really good alongside Saliba. I think him and Anderson, I think if they were in more of a top 6 team together, I think a better team around them, I think they'd be really good. I think the problem is they've got a bit of dross in front of them, and I don't think they get much support. But, I mean, you can see it today. It was 1-0. I mean, they're defensively, I think they're pretty solid. Anderson and Gehi are very good, in my opinion. The partnership's fantastic. I mean, I'd even taken Anderson as a backup centre-back for Arsenal over Kivy or Rob Holding, but that's a conversation for another day. But if you look at the stats here, it was very even. This is the worrying thing going into future games. This is just Crystal Palace. Imagine once how we start, because people are now going to get away because, we beat City in the Community Shield. We didn't beat Man City. We drew with Man City. We didn't actually beat them. Fact. We won the trophy because we won on penalties. The Premier League doesn't work on penalties. It works 20 minutes, you win, lose, or draw. We drew that game, so we didn't actually win it. So if we do come up against Man City or Man United or even Spurs, because they're looking pretty deep. I watched them against Man United. I know it's only the start of the season, and Man United are sort of getting into the rhythm of things as well. They've got a couple of new players coming in. They still look pretty good under Ange Postecoglou. So we've said it multiple times. We're going into these games, these first 2 games, and we're not looking great. We're not. The first half, 45 of Nottingham Forest, we looked good. I'm not going to lie. We did start off really well. But the 45 at the end and the 90 today, we were so bad. If we didn't get that penalty, it would have been 0-0. Fact.
Yes, 100%.
Gunnar ER asks, Xhaka or Havertz? James Madison. That's my answer.
Yeah, neither.
But to answer the question, Xhaka. Xhaka was actually very good for Leverkusen on Saturday.
I mean, Havertz is making Xhaka look like he was really going for it every game.
Yes.
Literally, it's so poor. And it needs to change. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I think we got very lucky today because Crystal Palace's attack is very poor. But And I will give credit. The team defended very well in the end when Tomiyasu went off. The defending was really good. And fair play to Rams, though, made a couple good saves today. But attacking needs to change. And also, one more thing. Our corners, excuse my language, TJ, our corners are fucking shit. They are so bad. I swear to God. They need to be the first thing. It's been the same since last season. I can't remember the last time we actually scored a goal from a corner. Our set pieces on corners are trash. I don't know if it's only me, but we can't seem to send in good corners. I don't know what it is with Martinelli and Saka, but they just cannot send in good corners. So that needs to be worked on as well. So we need to be better against Fulham, man. So we need to be so much better.
I'm not 100% convinced that we're gonna do this, be able to do this against Fulham. Are we away at Fulham?
At home.
Oh, we're at home. Okay, so at least we have the crowd.
You'll get away with it again. Yeah. You will. You'll get away with it again.
They just lost Mitrovic.
Highway Rob.
How Leno turns into prime Neuer that day. He'll turn into prime Neuer. So yeah, is what it is.
Yeah, and they're gonna have that. They're gonna have the sting of the last victory we had over them 4-0 away. In the back of their minds too. Yeah. That's not going to be an easy game. None of these games are easy. No. Like and then we got to go up against United the next week. And you don't think Ten Hag is going to have it figured out by then? I know a lot of Man United fans are writing off Ten Hag. They had a worse start last season, and people tend to forget that. So I'm not 100% on the Ten Hag as a fraud train, but
they're shite. They're shite.
You think they're bad?
I think they are absolutely. Their your Havertz is their Mason Mount.
Well, of course, they're two cheeks of the same ass. They're terrible.
They're
Chelsea
awful.
Got away. Chelsea sold us a dream.
They're literally so bad. If they drop Mason Mount, they'll become good again. Until then, and Bruno Fernandes because he's also rubbish.
Well,
and Garnacho.
Say that about Garnacho. Yeah, exactly.
I think Garnacho's overrated as hell. I don't see nothing from him where it's like, wow.
Let's just destroy United now. Let's stop talking about Arsenal. Let's just start talking. I cannot stand United, and they dropped the Spurs too. It's just like people are like, "Oh, are you happy to see United lose?" I'm like, no, because they lost against Spurs. They made Spurs look good. The Spurs are not going to play that kind of football and win. They're going to concede a ton of goals against teams that can actually score. Brentford scored twice against them. Okay? Brentford
are fucking good. What are you talking about?
They're mid-table.
They're going to literally make Europe this season.
They're not going to make Europe.
What are you talking about? They're literally going to make Europe this season.
They're not fucking making Europe.
Yes, they are.
You and Stell can take that stupid argument that they're going to finish 9th. That's where they're going to finish.
So that's one spot off Europe.
Is it Europe, Steve?
Off Europe.
And not just because they're my local. I rate Brentford very highly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's because they're your local.
No, but Thomas Frank. And I'm not just saying because I don't like Arteta. I would take Thomas Frank over Arteta in a heartbeat.
And by the way, Mbeumo is scoring for fun without Ivan Toney. And I keep telling y'all about fucking Mbeumo and Wissa. Nobody wants to damn listen.
So many players at Brentford that would walk into top 6 teams. Rico Henry one. Rico Henry should be in the England team. Yeah, Rico Henry needs to be in the England team. Fact.
Yes.
Visser and Mbeumo are two quality attackers, absolute quality, and we don't utilize them. We don't utilize like in transfers. We don't utilize these teams lower down the table enough because there's some quality. Like if we wanted a striker, we could have gone and got Ollie Watkins for half of probably what we got for Havertz, maybe 45 easily. We should have gone and got Ollie Watkins. In my opinion,
the only thing would be if Villa would have gotten a striker to upgrade.
That's very true.
Villa are serious. Villa aren't the Villa where you can take away Grealish.
Yeah, they got Zaniolo in. They can play centre forward if they want to. You can play him at centre forward, if he wants to.
Diaby was all over that last week when we were there playing. Diaby was just
Everton. Yeah, Diaby was fucking.
He was center forward. He was right wing. He was left wing. He was right.
Yeah.
Wing.
That guy is a monster.
You guys have known that was the last player I wanted for the last season. I think Diaby would have fit in just perfectly at Arsenal.
Oh, he's such a good player.
Maybe last 5 minutes. Give your guys' take real quick. Pepe is back training with the team.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing.
I'm just saying. I wanted to get everybody's thoughts, and then we got to wrap up.
We need him in the team.
He's better than Reece Nelson.
We need more depth in this team.
You're shite at selling players. You guys are terrible. I can't lie.
I'm happy we kept him. I'm happy we kept him because we need him in the team, and I do think he's criminally underrated. Well, yeah, the reason we've kept him is because we can't sell him, and that's a fact. I do because he turned down the quick test the other day, but in my opinion, I'm happy he hasn't left because we need more cover on this wing. Now I know Pepe isn't as good as Saka, but when we're going into these UCL games, we're going to need the likes of Pepe. We're going to need some rotation in this team, and Saka needs someone to have behind him to challenge him. Because Saka, at the end of last season, even prior to that, he was really he wasn't at his best. Let's get that real. We all know that's true. He wasn't his best come the end of last season, probably even prior to that as well. We like Aaron Ramsdale with David Raya. Aaron Ramsdale knows David Raya is breathing on his neck. He is coming for that number one position. Fact. Yep. Saka needs that. Everyone in the team needs that. And especially Saka, because I love Saka, but he needs to know, right, this guy's behind me. If I don't get my act going and if I don't keep producing, I'm going to get benched.
And Saka did not play well today.
He didn't, no. He's getting found out, TJ. He's getting found out every time. Yeah. And I know as a winger, you can't do much, but he does the same thing. I sort of Martinelli. I don't know if they're being told that or maybe they want to try something different. I don't know, but they're either being told or they love to cut inside. Both Martinelli and Saka. Yo, I looked at it earlier. Mitchell and I don't know who else it was. Who else was covering Martinelli? It might have been Lerma. I can't remember. But he had two players on him, right? He could not get a sniff. We had to overlap. You could see Tomiyasu was overlapping and Thomas Partey was overlapping as well. Because managers are now saying, these two wingers, you need 2 man on them. If you've got 2 man on them, they're not going to get a sniff. And it's fact. Because Saka could barely get past the left back and the left mid. And then in the first half, and then Martinelli couldn't get past the right back and the right mid. It's as simple as that. So that's why we overlap. But we now need to think of more creative ways that Saka can get into the box instead of just cutting inside. Because every time I can read it, Saka's going to run across the line. He'll stop and he'll do a couple skill moves, whatever, and then try get through inside. It works, but he's going to keep getting found out, and it needs to be changed. So
agreed.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
I agree. I agree with Andy, by the way, saying that y'all need like a Callum Wilson.
I agree.
Just imagine that. A focal point, a good finisher, a guy that can score you all different kinds of goals. I've seen this guy score crazy goals where he has to improvise mid-air. He just finds ways to score, Callum Wilson, and he's done it for a while. That's why I'm saying like an Mbeumo. For me I think he might. I think the only thing is that sometimes he misses or scuffs a few of his chances, but he's still scoring goals.
Yeah,
to be honest, and every striker occasionally misses a few, anyways. But if he,
Ivan Toney needs to be bought. Ivan Toney needs to be bought. I watched. If you haven't, guys, you have to watch it. He done a podcast with a guy called Stephen Bartlett over here. He's a UK.
Yeah.
He's a UK. He's like a social media mega. Very rich guy. And he does a podcast and it's fantastic. Diary of a CEO. You got to watch it on YouTube. He got Ivan Toney on, and fantastic interview. And he said in the interview, I sent to a couple of guys earlier. He's like, "I'm a Liverpool fan at heart, but I've always loved watching Arsenal. I love the way they play, love the fans, and it actually kind of makes me laugh because he used to troll the Arsenal fans on Twitter after all the game. But if that doesn't say bring this guy to the club, bring him to the club. If we bring Ivan Toney to the club, we are sorted at striker. Sorted. Him and Gabriel Jesus, we are absolutely sorted at striker. In fact, sell Kai Havertz instantly now because I'm done with this guy. Sell Kai Havertz. I'm bringing Ivan Toney.
All right, guy, Andy, we're about to wrap up here, bro. But give us your thoughts real quick, and then we're getting out of here.
I think the conclusion I can take from listening is, from what I've been able to have a listen, is you need an out striker. You need someone that's going to be able to receive the ball a little bit deeper and you can build attacks a little bit. Saka didn't get in the game simply because he had nothing to hit. He kept cutting back in, trying to go build another attack from inside. And that's why Mitchell had him on toast, because there was no point in taking him on, trying to get the ball in the box. Who you putting the ball in the box to?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nobody. A statuesque Kai Havertz.
But you've got to take the positives out of it. You're getting 3 points in to play as well as you did and get 3 points.
That's about it. That's about the only positive that I'm going to take out of it. But big up Andy every single time. Let's go through the lineup and shout out your channels really, really quick, guys. Again, Strasbourg Steve, my man. I don't know if he's there, but congratulations again on 500 subs. You are an absolute legend.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. You can find me Strasbourg Steve, Newcastle Fans TV, obviously. Football Terrace sometimes. Carefree Lewis G, a few other channels, but yeah, if I'm not on your screen, you ain't looking in the right place because I'm everywhere.
That should be your tagline, brother. That should be your tagline. If I'm not there, you're in the wrong place. I love it. I love it. Dal, tell yourself out, man.
Give me a shout, Oregon Goon on YouTube, Infamous Dal on Instagram. Not very chatty this afternoon, guys. It was nice listening to everybody. I kind of said all I had to say on Tony Claude's show before the game. I just, like Andy said, we won mess. We won messy. I'll take the 3 points, but we've got a lot of work to do. And there's, Kai Havertz just isn't an Arsenal player, but I'm not going to put all the blame on him. We just couldn't get anything going today, and it's not all just Kai Havertz's fault. He's a major part of it, but I'm not just going to dump on one guy today. We all look very average today.
Yeah.
And if we play like that against your boys, Steve, against Newcastle, we are going to get throttled. And I'm scared for even playing like that against Tottenham because they look pretty damn good against United in that second half. And Buscema is going to boss that midfield because he looked very good against United. We got some tough games coming up. But other than that, TJ, thanks again for having me on. Great to see everybody, the chat, the panel. I'm not convinced today. I'm a little down in the dumps, but hey, 3 points and we move on. Up the arse.
Yeah. Big up, Dal. Connor, shout yourself out real quick, my man, and then we are out of here.
Yeah, big up to everyone. Yeah, it was a bit of a mid performance, realistically. We've got to be better against Fulham. We'll be at home as well, so that'll probably bring a bit more motivation. But yeah, it's got to change up front, man. I don't think he's going to drop in Nketiah because Arteta's arrogant and he sticks by his choices. Yeah. But Trossard needs game time. I think if we don't start playing Trossard more regularly, he's going to get
pissed off.
He's going to hand in the transfer request. I think he will.
Yeah.
So we need to play, but we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, big up everyone in the chat for coming along, and obviously big up the panel as well. You can find me on Instagram, cmo.editing. I do all the stuff with TJ and a load of other guys on YouTube as well. So you can find me on there on Instagram, and big up to everyone.
Big up, Connor. Big up, everybody in the chat. Make sure you're smashing the likes. If you are watching on playback, we have 31 likes. I'm going to go to the gym, and I want to see that at 35 likes, okay? So in 2 hours, comment. Hey, if we said something wrong, put it in the comments. If you didn't like the episode, smash a like anyway. Don't be a dick, We do this. It's free content.
Yep.
I'm not being too demanding. Anyway, all right. 1-0 to the Arsenal. We will see you tomorrow for a Connor, are you still good for a midweek show tomorrow?
Yeah. I'm sound.
Yeah, we'll talk just general Premier League and probably get into how fuming I am still, but yeah, everybody, big up. Have a great rest of your Monday evening. Arsenal get away with one.